Hey guys, Beretta USA here, and today's video is going to be a comparison between the 220 compact single action only and the Glock Model 36. Single stack, 45 ACP pistols, similar trigger pulls in that they're both around 5 pounds. For the stock magazine, same capacity, 6+1. They have a lot of similar characteristics and they are also very different. And we're going to cover that in this video. Enjoy. So we got that plastic Fantastic versus the all metal P220 compact. You got an alloy frame on the 220 here, and then you've got your polymer frame on your Glock. You've got that striker fired safe action trigger, that little safety in the middle of your trigger here on the Glock. Very reliable. Most law enforcement officers nowadays are using the Glock. Most civilians too, you know what I mean? Really good trigger here on this Glock. Again, all Glock triggers are different. Anyone that tells you all Glock triggers are the same, they've never owned 10 Glocks. A little bit of a defined wall, and then it broke. Let's try it off the reset. There, and again. A little bit of creep before that wall, and it breaks. Not a bad trigger for a Glock, but it ain't great. I'm gonna be honest saying that. I think the other Glock is a better trigger, if I remember right, the other Glock 36 that I didn't bring out for this video. Let's look at that safety again. So cocking that hammer back. That feels great, man. Really well put together. It's a good design. Great trigger, feels amazing. Great reset. Just a little creep after it hits the wall. Amazing trigger here. 5 pounds, 5 ounces. Might have been a little heavy on it toward the end. Let's try that again. 5 pounds, 4 ounces. That hurts. 5 pounds. So yeah, 5 pound trigger. 5 pounds, 4 ounces. Yeah, 5 pound trigger on the single action only variant.
It does not have an exterior safety on it. It just has a safe action trigger. And let's go ahead and talk about that trigger and get ourselves some trigger pulls here. Because when I was messing with it earlier, I could have swore it was more like 6 pounds and not the 5.5 pounds. So let's see. 5 pounds, 7.5 ounces. Let's do it again. I do have an empty magazine in there because sometimes that makes a difference. 5 pounds, 9 ounces. So 5 pounds, 8 ounces and 5 pounds, 9 ounces on the 661. And let's try the 861. Trying to get it at a little bit of an angle and then pulling more straight back is what I'm going for here, folks. 6 pounds, 2 ounces. 5 pounds, 3.5 ounces, and I'll do one more just to make sure that I got 3 good pulls on this one. 5 pounds, 13 ounces. So there you go for some Glock triggers.
But anyway, comparing that to this 220 compact, this trigger is just dynamite. As to be expected. Reset. Trigger's about a pound lighter, I would say. Great German pistol. This is one of those frames that was made in Germany. So this is around the time when things started to change for SIG, and old SIG made some mistakes, and it happens, guys. Anyway. Really nice safety here on this. Single action, only 220. Positive enough and stiff enough. You don't want it to go on accidentally. And it is perfect in deactivating as well. It's really good. SIG Light night sights on this pistol, and they are pretty much dead, but they give you that really nice sight picture on that standard SIG. Again, metal sights versus most Glocks, unless you get a Gen 5 nowadays, gonna come with those plastic sights out the gate. Both these pistols are that compact size, compact 45, about the same size as that officer size 1911. Got that concealed carry size factor. Really love the ergonomics of this 220 here and my other 220 with the light, because it's the same dimensions and how it feels. The thicker plastic grips on my other 220, they just don't feel as good as these LOK Grips or the G10s on my other gun. Anyway, comparing that to how this Glock 36 feels, you can see that this dimension here on the Glock 36, it makes it not as ergonomic in hand for me personally. And I've got decent sized hands, but again, it just doesn't feel great in hand for me, Glock 36. Not saying that I couldn't get it done with the Glock 36, but I'm just saying it's not as comfortable. Reliability, guys, this is something interesting to cover. Glock is extremely reliable. In case you guys don't know, the Glock is just hell and back reliability. So impressive. The SIGs, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, they can be hit or miss, man. I mean, that's been my experience. We had an absolutely terrible experience with the 6-hour P220 before the channel started. I mean, you guys wouldn't have believed the way that we were treated by SIG back then. And again, it's just the way it is, you know what I mean? SIG has changed over the years, of course, but yeah, it can be hit or miss with reliability, and it can be said even with the 220 compact here as far as ammo picky. It's not gonna feed every hollow point that you want it to, or at least that's been our experience with 3 we have. The Glock 36, it's gonna run everything, guys. Glock reliability, as long as it doesn't go out of battery. You guys know what I'm talking about right there? As long as you don't press it out of battery, it's that Glock reliability, and it's gonna go off. Now, in comparing these two, I will say this, because this is a lighter pistol with that polymer frame and all that, it is going to be a more difficult pistol to shoot and use in comparison to the 220 compact here. The 220 compact and also the P227 SAS, so again, talking about that shorter slide dimension on that frame, magical. Absolutely magical in 45 ACP, the way that they feel and shoot. The SIGs just have a smooth recoil impulse with that compact profile slide. Talking about carryability, of course, Glock wins with that. It's a lighter pistol, so Glock's going to be easier to carry compared to the heavier, bulkier P220. And again, we're talking same capacity, but again, adds to the shootability here. It's a little bit heavier, a little bit more going on. That aids in recoil control. It would just be the better pistol if you were needing to take a shot. I would want to take a shot with this SIG over the Glock personally. Final things to cover, the Glock 36 can still be found in the newest variation with a little rail on the end. If you want to pick that up, you can. I personally just went out and sought out 2 used ones that are like Gen 2 guns basically instead of the Gen 3 variation of the Glock 36. Single action only variants of the 220 compact. These are going to be a lot more difficult to find than even the Glock 36s. Not easy to find, and not easy to find for a good price. Was able to pick this one up for $600 with 2 mags, and that was a good deal. This is a really nice SIG, so I wish you luck if you're interested in going to find one of those. These, I think I paid around $450 for one of them and $400 for the other one or something like that. But anyway, great 45s. If you guys are looking for a 45 that is carryable and will get the job done, the 220 compacts or the Glock 36s would be great options, as well as the Glock 30 SF or the Glock 30 Gen 4, Gen 5, etc. You have a wonderful rest of your day. I appreciate you all watching. And as always, remember, your Second Amendment is worth protecting.